All right, all right. Hey, everybody, how is it going? Good morning. Hey, what's
Morning.
up, Dom? Thanks for joining us. Awesome. We got Red Gas. Am I getting that right? And Chris, what's up, everyone?
How's it going, Salt and Burnham?
Oh yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, I guess before we dive in, tell everyone what's going on. So yeah. This is Orbit, where we cover kind of what's happened last week in GraphQL, and it's pretty fun, and I love it. And yeah. So also, On the flip side, this time I'm going to remember to do it first thing. If you have seen something that's interesting in the GraphQL community, or you would like to share something, maybe that you've been working on or something, drop a link in the chat and we'll check it out. Yeah, with that said, I'm Kurt Kemple, and this is Trevor Blades with me. And actually, it's just both of our names on Twitter. Also, we are linked in the panel below under streamers panel. So yeah. Thank you for joining us. And how's it going, Trevor?
It's going really well. I was a little more tired than usual for some reason waking up this morning, but a little shower and a cup of coffee can fix all my problems.
Fix a lot. Yeah, I took a shower this morning as well. Skipped my workout. I am also feeling tired. I put in. Dom is also feeling it. It's just one of those weeks.
Damn.
I put in a lot of hours from Friday to Monday coding, way more than normal. I normally don't do it like this, and I built like an entire website this weekend, pretty much. My knee, it's like 100% better, and that's the thing with like this arthritis, and like when I'm in this state where my meds are starting to wear off. But my left shoulder is bothering me, and my knuckles are particularly bad today. But yeah, hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Yeah,
Cool.
so doing a little bit better.
Tell me about the website that you created this weekend.
I guess we'll just check it out. I am a CrossFitter, and at my gym, they have a couple of online programs. So one of the head coaches there is Ben Smith, who is actually like the 2015 CrossFit Games champion.
Holy,
Which, if you
nice.
know anything about CrossFit, it's like a really big deal. That's like, the NBA of CrossFit, or like, you could even say like the Olympics of CrossFit. Like, so yeah, so it's like, it's a really awesome gym. I'm really like blessed to be there, to live so close to it. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. Strathos Twitch. I got it. Strathos Twitch. All right. Yeah,
Shout
and
out.
yeah. And yeah, so long story short, they have online programming, and they're kicking off a new program. Well, I guess technically it's we now because I'm involved in it now, called Dadbot Fitness. So they're all recent new dads, and I'm a dad. And as such, like the time schedule between work and dadding has gotten drastically shorter. Like to have time to do things like work out and stuff. So it's a $20 a month online program that provides, just it's called Dadbod, but like realistically, it's like anyone can do the programming. Yeah, it's not really for dads, but it's just kind of like a play on terminology. But it's for people who are short on time, want to get a little bit of fitness in, essentially. And so it's let's go check it out.
Yeah,
So
let's.
it's dadbodfitnessonline.com. So again, I'm not like a super great designer, so don't hold too much against me. But I did all of this.
Nice,
Any
dude.
recommended
I see
workouts?
Gatsby image working out there.
Yes, so it's a Gatsby site. Right now, there's really not a lot of like remote data. It's got some auth stuff like a member section. Um, and yeah, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm digging it. And so I
Nice,
built this
man.
all. Yeah, it looks good, right? I mean
Yeah.
it's nothing crazy, but it's pretty nice.
What did you use? What did you use for the subscribe?
Mailchimp. So that's Mailchimp.
With a serverless function?
Yeah, so this is Netlify. It's hosted on Netlify.
Awesome.
Actually, hold up. For that, I'm using um, Gatsby mail plugin Mailchimp. So no, that is not the serverless function. But I am
Oh,
using serverless functions because where's Rich Froning? Rich Froning is in Tennessee at Mayhem. That's where he is. So that's like his gym. But yeah, so yeah, and then like there's the movement demos, and then if I log out, because to do this we have like some samples. Oh, this is not right. This is broke. This should be margined. Oh, I'll fix that later. But anyway, yeah, so it's pretty cool. And then there'll be like a couple more workouts like that. So the
nice.
interesting requirements, it's had weird requirements. So you technically get all the workouts through an app called Beyond the Whiteboard. Yeah, CrossFit, yeah, it kills me every single time I do it. It's just like never gets easier. Yeah, and so what happens is they'll be given an access code, right? It's a generated access code. So I'm not going to go like too much into how I do this, but basically I use Zapier to generate these access codes and associate them to their emails.
Okay.
When you go to register, so you can register and create your account with the code, and then you just log in. I'm using Auth0 for authentication for this.
Oh, got you. Cool.
Right? So if you go to login, I have it set where you can't sign up, right? It's just the login redirect. So the only way to create an account is when you sign up from Beyond the Whiteboard, that will give you an access code that will work with your email.
Cool. Are Beyond the Whiteboard and Dad Bod Fitness associated?
So Beyond the Whiteboard is it's an app, and anyone can create online programming on Beyond the Whiteboard. Beyond the Whiteboard is the platform.
Oh,
So in CrossFit
gotcha.
gyms, it's very common to write your daily workout like on a whiteboard and go over it. So it's basically like the virtual CrossFit gym whiteboard.
I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That looks that's a pretty sweet like interaction or integration, I should say.
Yeah, well, it's really tough because I got in touch with Beyond the Whiteboard and they have no API, so I had to get
Mm.
really creative. So I don't even want to tell you like the runaround that I had to do. Actually, I will just tell you real quick because Zapier is like amazing. So basically, so you can send an email out after somebody signs up for the program. You can send them like a confirmation email. So
Hmm.
what I do is I actually have that email go to Zapier. Then
Oh,
yeah, you like that? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Then I generate the code for them,
Zap. Yeah.
store that, right? So I call webhook, store that, store the code in the email, create a new email with the code embedded in it, and then forward it on to the person.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like some next level zapping, I gotta say.
Yo, yeah,
You're,
I've
you're
I've gotten
I'm
pretty
not
ridiculous.
I'm not all that surprised, but yeah, it's very impressive. So, yeah, you're the Zap man. Oh man, that's awesome.
That
I like
man.
I gotta say I like the visual style with the like the really thick drop shadows or like the
Thank you.
really just like opaque drop shadows
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a really nice, clean, consistent look.
Thanks. Yeah, and so the thing was they've been doing all of a lot of the Instagram posts had like this wooden background type, pattern that was like the consistent. It's called Dad Bod, so I tried to go, with like this thick, very dad looking type font. I don't,
Hmm.
just to me, I don't
Sick,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very thick font. And then yeah, I wanted to go like blockier and like bigger and bolder, I guess. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make. It took a while to get here. But yeah, just kind of like I do better when I design on the fly. So like all the
Yeah,
designing happened in code essentially.
right on. Are
Yeah,
you using the font you're using, by the way, is it Biba's new?
it is.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that font. It's a nice font.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is.
Um, Nice stuff, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, don't forget to do you like that shit, Tom?
Yeah.
Don't forget to center up that thing. It's so funny, man, when like I feel like that always happens. Like
Let's do it.
I
Let's do
catch
it
so
right now.
much I catch so much stuff when I'm demoing a site that I've
Always.
just made and I'm so proud of it. I'm like, oh yeah, like look at all this stuff and this stuff. Oh wait, like that's wrong. Hold on, just a minute, just a minute. One
That's
second, let me
always
just
how
go.
it goes. So what
Yeah.
happened was on the sample workouts, look, it's even where I'm loaded up to, which is the best part. Um,
We're Zap Man and Font Man.
no, 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 no. That's amazing.
Zap Man. Zap Man and Font Boy. And
Oh,
then me,
I can't
I'm
even.
the
I,
sidekick
that's
with some
amazing. I know that
art.
font. I'd recognize it anywhere.
Yes. We solve crimes by creating zaps and identifying fonts.
Oh, that's exactly what we do. So MX, so all I got to do is I've been using Shocker. I've been using all the things I've been learning on the stream. This website
Awesome.
is like literally just the culmination of like the last 6 streams I've done
That's
condensed into a
perfect.
website.
That's a good thing, man.
It's an amazing thing. That's exactly how it should be. Auto. So let's do this. So I'm so sorry. This is not the news. But we will we will do the news
We'll get into the news.
in a second. Oh, I can't yarn start this. Control C. Abort. Abort. Come on. Spaceship prompt. Abort. There we go. I
You
have to
want your
do.
you have to eat your vegetables first. That's what I learned. This is the coding version of or the orbit news version of eating our vegetables.
Absolutely.
Yeah, freaking it's it's box time, Dom. Box season.
Oh yeah. Error while killing child process. That's good. Let's just. Oops. Now I'm dragging windows everywhere. All right. Let's. Oh, my mouse. It's doing that trackpad. It's doing that thing again. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it like won't unclick, so I just drag windows all over the place. Let's kill this terminal and start a new one. I think I pretty much borked
Sure.
that. And netlify dev. If this
Let's
fails,
see.
that won't be
If
good.
this fails, then I have one more thing we can do.
Error while killing child process kill.
Still the same thing? Okay, just go kill all node.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wait, but what else is running in Node?
Probably nothing.
Uh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Probably nothing. All right, let's try it.
Streamlabs goes down. No, I'm just
That's what
kidding.
I'm thinking. So what do I do? Kill,
Kill all, one word,
right?
space node.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're still here. I think.
Yeah, and now if you run netlify dev again, it should work.
All right. I've never seen that before.
That's like the escape hatch when I use kill all node when like I've used it before when I was learning Redis and oh what's going on here?
Yeah, no, path get. This is just not working. Google
It's trying
APIs. Oh,
to
YouTube. Something for. Oh,
oh no.
hang on.
Hmm. How curious. Um, I learned about kill all node when I was first learning how to use Redis, and
Yeah.
like I had like a little node script that would in the background like insert rows or insert like entries into Redis, and uh, and so I would start that up, and then like it would continue inserting entries, and then eventually I'm like, oh, I need to put the brakes on this thing, but
Yeah.
it's like a background process, so I ended up just learning how to kill all node processes.
Yeah, that's hilarious how like, that knowledge is born, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so here's the deal. Something's happening with the API key from YouTube. So I'm not going to deal with that right now. Like I'll figure out what that is.
Okay,
But I am going to do this, which is actually just push this because this is the change that I made, which is MX Auto, and that's not.
nice.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
wait, is that on the wrong
we.
box though? Yes, it is.
I was just gonna say, like, we totally know what'll happen with that.
Yeah, we know what it'll do, but now I know what it'll do. Because it's this max
Okay,
width, see? 1280. But I
that's
forgot
it.
this when I set it. Okay. Ship it. Let's see what happens.
Nice,
Um,
dude.
fix margins on sample workouts.
And
And like,
Dom, regarding writing tests often and writing tests against custom hooks, I wouldn't say that I write tests often. I mean, I think I write tests often enough,
yeah.
um, but I'm not like a serial test writer. What I typically test are like npm packages that I publish for like public consumption. I
Yeah, most
test
time
my
the
I test
libraries
my
and
own
stuff.
stuff a lot less frequently. And yeah, so like I test one of the libraries that I published is like a React hook for synchronizing state with the query string, and
Oh,
uh, and so I've written some tests in there. I'll actually link you to those.
yeah, let's do that.
Um,
I do have some good news too this week. I can't wait.
awesome.
Not a ton of it, but cool things. I just
So
love the GraphQL community.
check that out. This is using the React testing library, and they actually have like a package called testing library slash React hooks that you'll notice at the top of this file, and it gives you a render hook function, and this act function that allows you to basically yeah, like take an action as if you were like um, doing something that would modify the hook's state. So so yeah, if you check that if you check out that test, it should show you like some really basics. I just have two tests in here, but yeah, you could go any number of directions with this. But the React testing library is really awesome. I would recommend it to anybody who wants to get into
Yeah,
testing
yeah.
anything React.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, let's do it, Dom.
Yeah, and also Dom, I wanted to say this before and forgot, but that hook that you're making for pulling sounds out of Cloudinary sounds amazing. It would also be really cool to see the videos. I'm not sure if that's any different, easier, or whatever, but videos would be really cool too. Super useful. Okay. Yeah, so there's like a whole README, goes through, gives examples, stuff like that. So lots of people contributing. Look at that. All you can. Hey, I know some of these folks, especially this guy. All right. Cool. All right.
All right.
So, is that what we have? Oh, you have it. You already have video. Use image, use video, use GIF. That's awesome. And use audio. How cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to check those out.
Hmm.
I have an idea, Dom. Since we're doing all these, like, why don't you come on? Why don't you come on my stream one day, and show me how to do that stuff? I've been actually wanting to rebuild my stream layout in Gatsby, and I want to add some interactive stuff in it, like doing GIFs when like certain things happen and stuff like that. So that would be amazing, and I'll just put all that stuff in Cloudinary. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, cool. This is
Would watch,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah, right?
That's
That'd
a
be a lot
big
of
old
fun.
task. Would
Yeah,
would
yeah.
watch.
So yeah, exactly. So that's would watch. That's amazing. Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, I guess we should get into this. I didn't even get to ask you how your weekend was. So I guess we did land on we're all tired. I forgot about that.
We're all pretty tired. Yeah, my
Yeah.
weekend was good. Yeah, again, pretty chill weekend. Just worked on some projects, baked oatmeal cookies,
Ooh,
um, and went skateboarding yesterday. And then I went to the
I
grocery
saw
store
that.
after skating and got probably way too many groceries than I should have in that trip. But I was all like loaded up, and it's probably like I would say just under a kilometer walk, maybe like
Oh
uh,
wow, yeah.
800, 900 meters back to my house from the grocery store. And so I was just like,
It's a good distance.
I was crossfitting back to the grocery or back home from the grocery store, basically.
Yeah,
So
on
I was,
object carry.
yeah, I was channeling my inner Zap man.
Nice. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So here's what we gonna do. Oh yeah, our first link. Let's get to it. Yeah. I mean, my weekend, I just coded. I already showed what I did. I worked on that website. Yeah. I don't like doing that really with my weekends, but sometimes you got to get things done.
Yeah.
All right. But
Anyway,
yeah. So,
regular scheduled programming. Let's get into it.
Yeah. I mean, the first one goes without saying, which I just linked in the chat. But that is Space Camp. So it's this week. It's in 2 days. So Wednesday and Thursday. And yeah, so just wanted to bump this again because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, so a couple fun facts. Let me line these up and like be smart about this. Day number one is an amazing workshop with the folks at Moon Highway. So if you're not familiar with Moon Highway, I suggest checking them out. But that is Alex Banks and E. Frisello. And Highway. Let me see
They're
if I
an
can get a
outstanding
link.
resource.
Yeah, yeah, they're amazing. Amazing. So Eve actually just did a talk this weekend at Women of React. Oh, I did that this weekend too. I watched that with my daughter.
These guys
Uh,
literally wrote the book on
they
JavaScript.
Yes, they literally wrote the book. Yeah, I love Eva too. She's amazing. I love both of them. They're both amazing. And yeah, they literally wrote the book. They're so fun and like funny. It's like you just have such a great time. Like her talk was hilarious if you were able to catch that on Saturday. And yeah, so yeah, you don't want to miss this. They do all kinds of different training. Uh, you know, a lot around JavaScript and Node, React. Her talk was on React testing, and it was really great. A lot of good insights, and the way she got it across wasn't like it was. She like went through her talk was her like going through the experience of like over the course of like days and time like working with code. It was really funny and clever. She like left, you couldn't see her anymore, and she came back in the next day. Like it was hilarious.
When
Um,
do you know I didn't get the chance to catch the conference, but I assume they're going to be uploading those VODs on YouTube at some
I would
point.
imagine the whole talk was streamed on YouTube. So normally when that
Oh, I could
happens,
just go back and watch the whole thing.
right, you can go back and watch it, but I think they're going to cut out the individual talks as well, but that's just
Cool.
not up yet.
There
Yeah.
was the React
What's up,
as a
Max?
potato talk from that conference as
Oh,
well.
from Maggie Appleton?
I guess, yeah.
Oh,
I
yes. So
okay,
it,
cool.
it was basically like the importance of like visuals in like documentation and like how they can play a role. And it was really good. Like I did not cover it well. Like you really have to watch it. Actually, it was my favorite talk from Saturday. And it was amazing. And basically, it was just like showing how, like, there's different types of learners, and like sometimes hitting a wall of text for documentation for things can be that. And then she just went into like, it's not just about the visuals though. Like, like having a graph that says like A, B, and C, isn't the same as like if
Hmm.
you represent React or rendering as a potato plant and the roots and the different potatoes and like how
Oh, okay.
water and nutrients flow down through the potatoes like along the roots, and that's like props traveling down the tree. And so it was really cool. And so yeah, it was an amazing talk. Actually, that even though it's React and not GraphQL, I should have added that to the list. But if you didn't see it, Women of React. Go watch it. There's womenofreact.com.
Yeah, let's can we throw a link in the chat
Already on it.
for the YouTube VODs or something? But
Well, yeah, let's do
yeah,
that. Let me
the
go
other
find the videos.
the other talk that I know happened there that I'm dying to see is Cassidy Williams. Um,
Yes.
gave a talk there, and yeah, I love seeing her present. So um,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
can't wait
And
to
she
check that out too.
emceed. So
Oh,
it was,
cool.
yeah, it was cool. They also had great they had what they called a fireside chat, which was like a panel basically. And then they also had a Q&A session again later in the day with some more folks. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it
Yeah.
seemed like a really well organized event.
Yeah, it was a great event, and it was really cool because my daughter was like, because it was live stream, so she was like interacting. She was like trying to talk to him and stuff. So she's 6, so
Mm-hmm.
she's like still trying to grok the difference between like watching like a talk versus like FaceTiming.
Yeah, they both look the
Um,
same to you.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But it was great. She loved it. She watched quite a few of the talks. They had these really cool like coloring books. So it was like a PDF, so we printed that out, and the kids were coloring. It was fun. It was a really good time.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I've got some watching to do, but
Yeah, a lot of good talks.
yeah.
Yeah, so that covers that. So jumping back into Space Camp. So the first day, workshop. Boom. Amazing workshop. The second day, there's going to be two talks. And the one is by Khalil Stemler, and that's going to be on Apollo Client 3, which is awesome. And then there's going to be another talk on Federation by Mandy Wise, I believe. And yeah, so the thing about that is that also if you're doing like the paid ticket, there's also going to be like a networking and Q&A session. And while those will be visible, you'll be able to watch them. You won't be able to like ask any questions or like join into any of the breakout rooms if you don't have like a paid ticket. But you can watch the talks for free. And actually, I'm going to stream them on the Apollo Twitch channel. So
Cool. I think I'm
yeah,
also streaming. I still need the more details about what I'm streaming, but I'm going to be streaming uh, some portion of the talks as well.
yes, yeah, exactly. If I have this correct, I think you're streaming them to the Zoom. I think like that's the and what I'm streaming is going to just be like the output of like all of that stuff. Does that make sense?
Great.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be a
so
great event. And it's yeah, it's a steal of a deal. And just another great opportunity to get to interact with your development community.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like the networking part too. I don't want to like downplay this. So this is like a lot of the Apollo core team, a lot of community members, and so it'll be a really good chance to hang out with them, pick their brains. You know. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so that's it. Coming up, 2 days away. Yeah. So that was number one.
Cool. Hey Max, sorry I missed your chats earlier, but thanks for linking that PDF in the chat there.
Oh, very cool.
Hope you're
Yeah,
doing well,
thanks.
my man.
All right. So let's see. Next we've got up. And this one is actually REST and GraphQL. But
Oh,
Sarah Drasner tweeted about Insomnia, which I had never heard of before. And
I've never
so
heard of it either.
yeah, so it's like Postman and graphical rolled into one. It's actually like a native app. Um, so I've never used it before, but I did install it, and I figured we could take a look at it.
Let's check it out.
So here it is. This is it installed. Let me blow it up. I have no idea what it does. Like I've not done anything here. So I guess I want to create. Oh, so you do requests or folders. New request.
All right. They've got a VS Code style empty state there.
Yeah. So it says for this and GraphQL. Ah, look at that. GraphQL query.
Oh,
Create.
nice. I gotta get up close to the monitor to see the
Hang on, let
little
me
like
blow it
drop
up.
downs. Is it possible to blow up in there?
How's that?
Let's see. Oh yeah, nice.
Is that a lot
Oh,
better? Oh, wow, that
perfect.
still looks pretty small. Let me see.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, like that's good, right?
Sure.
Okay. So schema, we don't have anything. So we got to pick where we're gonna go to. Oh, I already know where I'm going. Hang on, don't tell me. Countries dot trevorblades.com.
You have it, sir. That is the one.
Nice. So now we can look at the schema. Refresh schema. Show documentation. Look at this. So this is basically
Okay.
graphical built in.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
So
sweet.
It is pretty sweet, but the one thing that it's missing um, is I want to be able to automatic fetch. That's kind of cool. But I want to see like I like the check boxes. I miss the now I'm so used to the Explorer that I miss that. But this is still really cool. Oh, and I didn't have to press anything. It brings up the menu for you.
Oh, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, that is. That is
So
definitely
that I
handy.
mean that kind of I don't think it replaces the Explorer experience all the way, but this
Yeah,
effectively does something similar where it gives you that like menu experience.
it does. It definitely
Yeah,
does
like
give you
allows
the
you to just like at this point it's kind of like urging you to or what I get is it's like urging me to pick from this menu
yeah.
of options. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is kind of nice, except it's not coming back once I pick the first option. So it only does
Oh,
that for you when it's empty, which I guess is probably good. Otherwise, it might be jarring if you're typing a bunch and this thing keeps popping up in your face.
is it
Um,
control space to bring it back?
yeah, yeah, it is. Yep, it
Not
definitely
bad.
is. So yeah, follows that, and then so let's do a test. I'm just gonna do name, and I want to hit Control Enter or Command Enter, and yeah, that runs it. So Command Enter will also run the command. So it's like they have, I guess, basically graphical parity, right? Feature parity.
Yeah,
And then here it looks like, um,
your
oh,
query failed, bro.
oh, it did. Did
Let's
you
we
mean
need to
languages?
fix that.
Oh yeah, let's fix it. Because this is not. It needs.
It needs subfields.
Yeah, might be. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to make it look like the API ain't working. That's all. User error.
There we go.
What was that
Someone like it.
between user and keyboard? The error was between the user and the keyboard.
Yeah, BTAK or
Hmm.
whatever. Or
Yeah,
between, I don't know. I don't remember
yeah,
what
something
what
like
it is.
that.
Between
But
sharing
you get it.
keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you get it. You get where I'm going. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got a query, which is cool. We got headers, timeline. I don't know what
Beautiful.
this is. Oh, this is like everything it did.
Is this our it's kind of obscured by our bubbles, the tab name, but
Oh,
can you read
the
out
tab name
what
is
the tab name is
timeline.
called?
I'm on
Timeline. Okay.
timeline. Oh man, this is the first time our bubbles have been in the way, really.
Yeah.
It's a
Damn
crying shame.
Insomnia putting UI in the top right corner.
Yeah, how dare you? Now I'm on the cookies tab, so we can manage cookies. You can set cookies. These are the headers, so I can copy them to the clipboard if I want to check something out about them. Here I can set headers, which is
Oh, look at
cool.
that. It even says server render. You can see where I've hosted this thing.
Yeah, that's trippy.
Neat.
Yeah, query. So that's like, I guess if you want to add query fields, yep, to the URL, and it gives you the preview. That's really neat. So you can like copy it to the clipboard.
Yeah.
Oh, docs, you can add descriptions about each one of your requests. You can organize requests by folder. So that means like you could have for
Ooh.
like your teams, you know what I mean? Like if you have like common requests that you have to run, whether
Right.
they're REST or graphical, or like, you could scope that more cohesively to like, projects or whatever, like, because maybe you have some REST calls you have to make and some GraphQL calls and this other stuff. So this is neat. I'm feeling
Hmm.
it.
It's
Yeah.
really this would be a really handy tool for like QAing API work. You know, within a team, you could have an API team like build out a bunch of test
Yeah,
queries that they want their QA people
exactly.
to keep track of and that kind of thing.
That was actually one of the things I loved about graphical and GraphQL. We use this a lot at Major League Soccer for testing. When something needed to be exposed in the API, it was almost like test-driven development, like you would write the query for it, and then like the test, it passes QA once the query resolves with like the proper data types.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and so like that query would be in the ticket, and then also because like sometimes it wouldn't always be clear what the final query would be. It's also great because then following the same issue, whoever's on the front end, you reference that issue in like the front end work, and now they can just copy out the exact query and know exactly what data to fetch. It's very
Hmm.
pleasant.
That's an interesting type of workflow.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Oh yeah, I dug it. Okay, cool. So this was Insomnia. I like. Two thumbs
Nice.
up.
Well done, Insomnia.
Yeah, two thumbs up. Very cool. Okay, so I don't know if I linked it though. And, I did not. So let me get those URLs, those URLs. So here's insomnia.rest itself, and then I'm gonna link the tweet as well. And like, let's go spread it. You know what I mean? Spread the tweet love.
For sure.
Boom. Cool. So that's that. That was Insomnia. That was my second thing.
Cool.
So now we're moving on to my
I
third
like
thing.
it.
This is my final thing. So if anyone has anything, now's the time to share it while I'm getting this one together. I kind of cut you off there. What were you saying, Trevor?
I don't even remember.
Might be.
No, it's all good. Oh, I think I was gonna comment on the .rest TLD. That's a one that I've never seen before.
Oh, I didn't even like register that.
Yeah, they're rocking the .rest domain.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
It's kind
wonder if
of
they'll ever
cool.
have a .graphql.
We can only hope. We can only hope that GraphQL ascends to the public consciousness level of the concept of resting.
If
I
you own the
assume I assume .rest doesn't have anything to do with like
yeah,
its original intention wasn't like the REST
probably not.
API
Maybe like restaurant or like a
restaurant,
country
yeah,
or
or
something.
like
Yeah.
a if you have like a little Airbnb or not an Airbnb but like a B&B or a hotel.
Dot rest. Yeah. If
Yeah.
they do release a .graphql and you buy GraphQL.GraphQL and then host your API at /GraphQL,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well,
that would.
you'd have to make that API really count.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, let's table that and keep thinking of ideas. By the time they release a .graphql, there you
we'll be
go.
ready.
That is a domain, and you could, yeah,
Ooh,
that's
I already know what it can be. One root query called GraphQL that resolves to the type of itself that has the type of itself, and it's just like until you knock out the server, you can just request GraphQL all the way down.
cool. Yeah, some recursive
Yeah,
GraphQL type forever and ever.
yeah.
I think that seems appropriate for a URL like that. Well, let's take a moment and rest on the sidelines while we wait for this domain to become available someday.
Yeah, I love it. All right, cool. Yeah, so the last thing that I wanted to share today was, which looked super cool, is this Mordred. So essentially,
Mm.
what this is, it's a data plugin for Next right now. Soon for Nuxt and Eleventy. It's basically the content mesh layer of Gatsby as plugins for other frameworks. Does that make
Awesome.
sense? Yeah,
Totally
so
makes
like
sense.
yeah, so oh, I thought I was on the tweet. I guess not. Here we go. So I don't know how visible that is. Let me try and just like yeah, here we go. So essentially what we're doing is it's much if you're familiar with Gatsby, this will look like okay. But since this is next, we have our get static props, right? And so this is going to be called when the page is rendered. And what they're doing is querying with GQL all markdown nodes slug created at front matter title, and right. So this looks very similar to Gatsby.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I think that is simply amazing because my thing is like clearly this plugin and system can be ported to other layers, like to other frameworks, like React Static or you name it. But you abstract this enough, and this is really powerful tooling.
Hmm.
Um, Content meshes to me are fascinating, and graphs themselves, like they solve so many problems, and being able to source data from anywhere. It's like why I love Gatsby, like being able to source data from anywhere, aggregate that, pull it in, draw relationships to it, and manage it all within like one place, and access it through a single DSL. It's just like you know, oh, it's amazing. But yeah, so
It
I'm
really
so cool to
is.
see this. Like, it's so cool to see this spreading out to other frameworks.
I guess one question that I have when I'm looking at this is
Yeah.
this shows us an example of fetching static data from our content mesh, but
Yes. How do we
the
load it, right?
like yeah like really the part that makes Gatsby so impressive is the what you're talking about, like the the creating that static mesh and like
Yeah.
facilitating the sourcing. And so I'd be interested to know what their approach is there. Like, how do you make a framework agnostic content mesh from the sourcing end of it? And maybe this is going to be it right here.
Oh yeah. Dom, yeah. So your main stack usage, you're gonna do Next.js and Apollo Server Micro. I like that.
Ooh, what's Apollo Server Micro?
Yeah. So I've been hearing this now lately, and we'll take a look at that next. I'll queue it
Okay,
up.
let's do it. I was gonna open up in my own tab, but I'm gonna resist the urge, and we'll check it out here.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
First, let's
it looks
yeah.
like Mordred, just to like tie up the loose end that we left. Like, it looks like Mordred is just a Webpack plugin, and
Yeah.
so it means that you could define all of your. That's awesome. They use like a Gatsby style
Yeah.
plugin
Yeah.
plugin syntax, I guess.
I would imagine that this is basically the core of Gatsby data aggregation, and that the data layer pulling
Mhm.
it out, removing the Gatsby specific parts.
Yeah,
Not to say that they didn't build it from scratch, but like the mental model is
yeah,
essentially it's like the exact same.
yeah. Just Command C, Command V.
Yeah.
You know.
And delete until it works.
Yeah, exactly. Done. Um, okay, one thing before we get into Apollo Server Micro, one thing that I'm interested to know is the name Mordred. And if Mordred sounds like an old school name,
Mordred.
maybe from the same era, or what do you know anything more about the name Mordred
Okay, so
and
you
and
mean like
maybe
is it the same
its
era
relevance to,
as Gatsby?
is it connected to Gatsby?
I
Yeah,
don't think
in
so.
any
Well,
way.
the name I know Mordred is actually from like the story of like King Arthur and Merlin, and
Oh,
Mordred was
okay.
like someone that um, isn't that the person who like kills King Arthur in some of the stories anyway. But like Mordred was like the opposed person. So I don't know why they picked it. Maybe they say. Let's go.
Mm,
Let's see what they say.
let's see.
Usage? No, I'm not seeing it.
It does look like it's I don't know where, like
Well, we can
what
ask
this
Kevin.
is all about.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a page that looks like it
Boop.
looks like it's like essays generated by some like deep learning bots. Like they're like barely coherent. But it does seem like, yeah, Mordred is a character in like the King Arthur,
Yes.
Merlin kind of days.
That's the only thing I know it from.
Mordred, from a character who's variously portrayed in Arthurian legend. The earliest
Yeah.
known mention of a possible historical Murdrot is in the Welsh chronicle Annales Cambriae. All right,
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
Right on. So, well, that's interesting.
Isn't
Probably
it?
not exactly related to the name Gatsby, but I had to know. I like the name anyway.
I do too. I like it. It's very cool. Oh, and boop. Go give it a star, y'all. So, did we link the repo yet? I don't think I did. Nope.
I no, I just linked to the tweet, but there you
Oh,
go.
cool.
Nice.
Thanks. Yeah. All right. Micro up next.
Hmm.
So here's the docs. This is the micro integration of the Apollo Community GraphQL server.
What is
Read the
micro?
docs. Okay. Yeah. So you install micro, and then we get micro graphical and micro GraphQL. But what's micro? Tell me more, Dom. I'll have to see what
Yeah,
micro
what
is.
is
I guess it's
micro?
like micro must be like a server, like Express or Happy.
Yeah, okay, so just reading more. Micro is
Yep.
here's a link to the micro GitHub repo.
Oh, from Zeit.
Yeah.
Oh, Versal from Versal.
Oh yeah. Watch yourself, dude.
Oh, ba, 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 ba. So you can interface GraphQL over Next.js API routing. Very cool. I get it.
Got it. Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Got it.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool. And FreeSize81, thank you for the follow. And thank you for joining us on today's episode of Orbit.
Orbital phase, the orbital phase never got initiated today. I just noticed.
Oh, it did not. You know why? It's because it's like I was so tired this morning and I was running behind
Hmm.
and I never
Forgot to initiate it.
yeah, I never opened the app.
Oh, okay.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
It's official
I knew
now.
something was missing. Jeez.
Yeah. I love it. Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot about that poor app. And I love it. It's so much fun. I've been using it to do the clapping in our team meetings.
I know, I've seen. I like it. It definitely adds something, breaks the silence.
It does. I like it. Okay, so we know what micro is now, and so now I get it. Okay, which is really cool. So I see. So the router comes into these get and post URLs, and then you return your graphical handler. Is this what I'm? And then you can use this inside of Next.js. Is that what I'm getting? Is that correct?
That sounds about right. Like Next.js allows you to like create like API endpoints that you can
Yeah.
then like read from in your client app. And so
Right.
this would just give you an ability uh to yeah, like make one of the
I
API
see.
endpoints a GraphQL API.
I see.
So
I see.
it kind of does something similar to what Mordred is doing. Like
Yes.
you're creating like an internal graph in a way.
Except Mordred is going to be static. That's going to be
True,
accessed
true.
in static props. And this is like creating an API for the client side of your app. So you have a static part. That's different. This is, I need to do things from the client. I'm creating an API. That's where micro comes in. But I want to use GraphQL. Now I'm using Apollo Server Micro.
That sounds about right. I like that.
Yeah,
And I
I
wonder,
got a
like,
big
you could,
right from Dom, so I think I nailed it.
nice. I think that you could probably use the two together. Like, I'm not sure
Yeah.
the order in which Next spins up your like APIs versus the client, but
Now I
assuming
see
the
what you're saying.
API, the like the GraphQL API
Now I
gets
see what
spun
you're
up
saying.
before your client build process,
You could
you could then
query
like
that in the
source
static part.
from, yeah, dude. That would be
Which
cool.
actually, that is pretty cool. And that actually raised the question that I had about Netlify, which is do they deploy your functions before they deploy your site? Because then you could use your functions in your build process.
Yeah. So right now that's like one shortcoming that Netlify has is that your functions are the last thing to deploy. So
Ooh,
your website has to be built out first. So technically, what you could do is you can still source static content from your like existing production GraphQL API,
right.
but the requests won't be fulfilled by the like most
Latest version.
recent version
Yeah,
of your API. Yeah.
got it. Got it. But that's probably what you're going to want in most cases. So,
Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah,
yeah.
that would be considered a shortcoming, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to have the functions go first. All
Hmm.
right, because that opens a lot of doors. You do a lot of cool stuff.
It
Take
does.
take heed if you're hearing us. Netlify Devrel. It's like I gotta flash the light in
Yeah,
the sky
you gotta say Netlify DevRel in the mirror 3 times.
3 times, and then turn off the
And
light. And you turn it on, and
yeah, and then they appear.
Jason is behind you.
Yep. I
That's
hear that's how it
awesome.
works.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Dom says, and then you can use get server or get static props. Got it.
Great.
Yeah, cool. We figured that out. Piece that puzzle together.
That's really
Yeah,
satisfying.
yeah, that is always. This was cool. So micro wasn't even on my list. I'm gonna take this and add this to. I just like to have these like list of these resources. So I'm gonna add it um, to my list. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. If anyone has a link, now is the chance to do it. I guess while we wait, maybe we should talk about like things we've got coming up.
Hmm.
And yeah, you know, start to phase this thing out.
Sounds good.
I guess I'll go first. Let's see. Coming up on my front, I've got. Oh, actually, I've got a couple things coming up. Let me pull up the old calendar because I think I have a pretty busy week. Oh yeah, right, because of Space Camp. That's the busiest part. So we've got Space Camp Wednesday and Thursday. Because of that, Thursday's episode of Launchpad will be pushed back some. Not too much, but a little bit. Um, Maybe even should we just push it until next week instead of like doing all that? I guess it's kind of up to how you feel
Yeah,
and I
sure.
feel.
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna be going from 11 till 12:15 my time.
Yeah.
Um, and then I could do Launchpad right after. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. Yeah, what do you think? I'd be happy to push it back, but um,
I think
I
we
could
should push it
also.
back. There's no
Okay,
need to bombard the streams, you know?
sure.
Yeah, and that's cool. So that's what I got coming up. But I also have a mission briefing coming up with Paul Chin from Begin on Friday, and
Oh,
that's at like 3:45 or sorry 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, and we're gonna be learning how to spin up serverless GraphQL APIs with Apollo and Begin. So that'll be cool. I'm excited about that. And then next week we've got I don't even know all kind of stuff. Oh, we've got an intro to the Apollo iOS client. So I'm excited to break out of the JavaScript world for next week's episode of Mission Briefing, and we're gonna look at like getting started with GraphQL in an iOS app. So that's
fun.
gonna be fun.
Do we have is Ellen gonna be
You got it,
on
Ellen
with that?
Shapiro. Yep,
Awesome.
yep. So she's gonna be joining us. I'm so excited for that. And the week after that, sorry, I know I'm going into a lot of these, but we got a lot of good mission briefings. We got Dom coming on. Dom's going to be coming on, and we're going to be looking at some different ways to like handle like set up a API like a GraphQL API in front of Cloudinary. So I thought that'd be really cool.
Yo, that's sick. Put your let's goes in chat.
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, yeah. And then
Um,
the
that's
week
gonna be
after
sweet.
that, yeah, the fun doesn't stop there. This is the last one I'll mention. The week after that, on the 20th, Ben is gonna come on and be talking about Apollo Client 3.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there they are. Let's go. Yes. So yeah, yeah. A lot of really fun stuff coming up. That's what I got. That's what I got going on.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, from my side, uh, like Kurt said, Space Camp, Wednesday,
Space Camp.
Thursday. So I don't exactly know to what capacity I'm going to be involved in the Thursday streaming side of things, but yeah, I'll probably have more info later this week, and then yeah, just regular web dev stream on Wednesday, and
Yes.
tonight I'm actually going to be working with one of my friends who just recently started his programming journey. We're going to be working on a Twilio app for our mutual friend's
Nice.
barbershop business. So he
Very
wants to
cool.
implement like a text-based waiting
Like,
list. And
yeah.
so we're gonna use Twilio, Node, and Redis to like create um,
Genius.
a simple queue, and
Yeah.
it should be fun. And I haven't talked to my friend about this yet, so I don't want to like confirm anything right here right now. But it'd be really fun to stream it. So
Yeah.
um, you can probably look out for that. Tonight we're gonna start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I hope you stream it.
I hope so too. I'm gonna run it by him, see if he's comfortable with it first, and then if he is, we'll put it up there.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, that wraps it up from us. We got no links from the chat, so I think we're good on what's new this week. I think we covered a lot of awesome stuff. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We had a blast hanging out with you, as always. And yeah, I mean, I guess like with that, let's see if anybody's around that we can raid.
Sure. Yeah, I was just looking on the science and technology category for web dev streams. I noticed there's a looks like a uh, on here dev. Who is here dev? They are here developer live streams. It looks like they're doing like a podcast of some kind, um, and it seems pretty interesting.
Should we drop in on a
Wait a minute.
podcast?
Let's just see. I think they might have just finished.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for an ad to finish before I can
gotcha.
actually listen. Yeah, they just finished.
No worries. It can also be a lazy Monday. We can all just go back to doing what we were doing.
I think that might be in the cards for us today, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. So it is what it is. No raid today, folks.
That's all
Go
right.
back to being tired on a Monday.
We'll get them next week.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, thanks everybody for dropping by. That's it from us. And yeah, everybody have a safe week, and hopefully we'll see
Yeah.
you at Space Camp.
Yep. See you later.